Hey y'all, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Frank? Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hola.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just eating some rice. I made some rice because, I had half hour to kill.
Yeah, you're eating the Chinese.
I'm not. It's
Thank you, Jaded
comes
Love.
in.
Truly, Marcy, Carrie.
Right, I'm gonna go back to eating this over 2 minutes.
All right. What's up, y'all? There's so much shit going on. I forgot what I was fucking on about. Okay, we're gonna listen to a little bit of Biden. We're just gonna get into this. He allegedly had a press conference recently. It is crazy. Marcy, I used to be angry every day. People are fucking loony. Okay, we're gonna watch Biden's press conference a little bit here. Of course, I don't know what they're gonna say because I've not watched it. So I'll save that so I don't have to watch it twice.
Extensive yet about those aerial question marks. U.S. fighter jets shot down an airborne object over Lake Huron Sunday and a separate one flying over Canada's Yukon territory a day earlier. On Friday, the U.S. military also downed an object flying over Alaska. And earlier this month, the Biden administration shot down a Chinese spy balloon.
Joining us now is CBS News senior White House correspondent Weijia Zhang as we prepare for the president's remarks. Weijia, what can we expect the president to say today after all this mounting pressure for him to say something?
Aaron, I think you're exactly right about that pressure being one of the factors why the president is finally speaking out about this. He's really only talked about those three unidentified flying objects very briefly when he was asked during another event about them, and he said it was a success, and that's all he said. Of course, he has spoken about that Chinese spy balloon, which is separate from these three objects that unfolded after that balloon was shot down. And so I think hopefully he can offer some clarification about exactly what they were, who they belong to, what they were doing in the air, what they're capable of, because there's still some outstanding questions. The latest reporting that we have from the intelligence community.
But why is he just now addressing it? He should have addressed it when it was going on, in my opinion. Why fucking all this time later?
Assessment is that it looks like these might be benign, that they may have been something like weather balloons or something that was just hovering to collect data and not capable of spying like that Chinese spy balloon. So I think he's going to come out. He's going to have to send a forceful message to explain maybe what's taken him so long to speak, because as you mentioned off the top, a lot of lawmakers from both sides say they wanted to hear from the president a lot sooner than this.
Yeah, on that front, we know that he directed the National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, to create an interagency team. We know that this is really significant. And we know that he's been pressed to do this and hasn't yet until this point. Do you know why this address is happening now?
Well, again, I think it's because there were so many calls for him to speak to the American people about this. The U.S. doesn't just shoot things out of the sky. So to do it 3 times in a row following the downing of the actual balloon that we know that was spying from China or capable of spying, I think that, people want answers. They want to hear from the commander in chief, who the White House has stressed so many times is the one who ordered these objects be shot down. And so it's unclear if this was an overcorrection because he received so much criticism for not shooting the Chinese spy balloon down earlier, whether that was why they immediately shot these 3 objects down without really knowing what they were, or if this is now an official U.S. policy, right? Because, how do you put the toothpaste back in the tube? If you've shot these 3 down and there's more flying objects, how do you say, well, those aren't a threat? So I think, he's going to have to clarify what the U.S. is going to do from this point forward, because, guys, it's not cheap to shoot one of these things down. We're talking about millions of dollars.
I think that's why we're standing by for this presidential statement with such interest, because the president can turn over to where the cameras are rolling anytime and address the nation. So very significant he's decided to do this now. Let's, as we wait, bring in Josh School. He's the president of Bow Wave. It provides services designed to support U.S. national security. He's also former executive.
The president has put China at the center of his entire foreign policy. He believes it is the greatest threat economically, globally, and wants to stress American competition with regard to China in any way that he can.
One of the Great Lakes. Members of Congress, Republican and Democrat, have been critical of the White House for a lack of transparency about all this, and Congress would like more answers. President Biden has approached the microphones. Let's listen to the president.
By China's high-altitude balloon. Our military, through the North American Aerospace Defense Command, so-called NORAD, closely scrutinized our airspace, including enhancing our radar to pick up more slow-moving objects above our country around the world. In doing so, they tracked 3 unidentified objects, one in Alaska, Canada, and over Lake Huron in the Midwest. They acted in accordance with established parameters for determining how to deal with unidentified aerial objects in U.S. airspace. At their recommendation, I gave the order to take down these 3 objects due to hazards to civilian commercial air traffic and because we could not rule out the surveillance risk of sensitive facilities. We acted in consultation with the Canadian government. I spoke personally with Prime Minister Trudeau from Canada on Saturday. And just as critically, we acted out of an abundance of caution and an opportunity that allowed us to take down these objects safely. Our military and the Canadian military are seeking to recover the debris so we can learn more about these 3 objects. Our intelligence committee is still assessing all 3 incidences. They're reporting to me daily and will continue their urgent efforts to do so, and I will communicate that to the Congress. We don't yet know exactly what these 3 objects were, but nothing right now suggests they were related to China's spy balloon program or that they were surveillance vehicles from any other country. The intelligence community's current assessment is that these 3 objects were most likely balloons tied to private companies, recreation, or research institutions studying weather or conducting other scientific research. When I came into office, I instructed our intelligence community to take a broad look at the phenomenon of unidentified aerial objects. We know that a range of entities, including countries, companies, and research organizations, operate objects at altitudes for purposes that are not nefarious, including legitimate scientific research. I want to be clear. We don't have any evidence that there has been a sudden increase in the number of objects in the sky. We're now just seeing more of them, partially because the steps we've taken to increase our radars, to narrow our radars. And we have to keep adapting our approach to dealing with these challenges. That's why I've directed my team to come back to me with sharper rules for how we will deal with these unidentified objects moving forward, distinguishing between those that are likely to pose safety and security risks that necessitate action and those that do not. But make no mistake, if any object presents a threat to the safety and security of the American people, I will take it down. I'll be sharing with Congress these classified policy parameters when they're completed, and they'll remain classified so we don't give our roadmap to our enemies to try to evade our defenses. Going forward, these parameters will guide what actions we'll take while responding to unmanned and unidentified aerial objects. We're going to keep adapting them as the challenges evolve, if it evolves. In addition, I've directed my national security advisor to lead a government-wide effort to make sure we are positioned to deal safely and effectively with the objects in our airspace. First, we will establish a better inventory of unmanned airborne objects in space above the United States airspace and make sure that inventory is accessible and up to date. Second, we'll implement further measures to improve our capacity to detect unmanned objects in our airspace. Third, we'll update the rules and regulations for launching and maintaining unmanned objects in the skies above the United States of America. And fourth, my Secretary of State will lead an effort to help establish common global norms in this largely unregulated space. These steps will lead to safer and more secure skies for our air travelers, our military, our scientists, and for people on the ground as well. That's my job as your President, Commander-in-Chief. As the events of the previous days have shown, we'll always act to protect the interest of the American people and the security of the American people. Since I came to office, we've developed the ability to identify, track, and study high-altitude surveillance balloons connected with the Chinese military. When one of these high-altitude surveillance balloons entered our airspace over the continental United States earlier in the month, I gave the order to shoot it down as soon as it would be safe to do so. The military advised against shooting it down over land because of the sheer size of it. It was the size of multiple school buses and it posed a risk to people on the ground if it was shot down where people lived. Instead, we tracked it closely, we analyzed its capabilities, and we learned more about how it operates. And because we knew its path, we were able to protect sensitive sites against collection. We waited until it was safely over water, which would not only protect civilians, but also enable us to recover substantial components for further analytics. And then we shot it down, sending a clear message. The violation of our sovereignty is unacceptable. We'll act to protect our country, and we did. Now, this past Friday, we put restrictions on 6 firms that directly support the People's Republic Liberation Army, People's Liberation Army aerospace program that includes airships and balloons, denying them access to U.S. technology. We briefed our diplomatic partners and our allies around the world, and we know about China's program and where their balloons have flown. Some of them have also raised their concerns directly with China. Our exports have lifted components of the Chinese balloon's payload off the ocean floor. We're analyzing them as I speak, And what we learn will strengthen our capabilities. Now, we'll also continue to engage with China, as we have throughout the past 2 weeks. As I've said since the beginning of my administration, we seek competition, not conflict with China. We're not looking for a new Cold War, but I make no apologies, and we will compete. And we'll responsibly manage that competition so that it doesn't veer into conflict. This episode underscores the importance of maintaining open lines of communication between our diplomats and our military professionals. Our diplomats will be engaging further, and I will remain in communication with President Xi. I'm grateful for the work of the last several weeks of our intelligence, diplomatic, and military professionals who have proved once again to be the most capable in the world. And I want to thank you all. Now, look, the other thing I want to point out is that we are going to keep our allies and the Congress contemporaneously informed of all we know and all we learn. And I expect to be speaking with President Xi, and I hope we're going to get to the bottom of this. But I make no apologies for taking down that balloon. Thank you very much.
Sir, the question was if you want to stand. Sir, there's been criticism that this was. There's been criticism that this. Sir, Mr. President, there has been criticism.
Man.
Are you fucking serious? Look at this motherfucker. Right, Boo Boo Kitty. Hey, love. Yeah, he's shorting out. I bet if you put a little fucking girl in front of him, he'd fucking perk up. Little fucking sick fuck running our country. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Here, let me see. This is my favorite thing of all time right now. Hold on, I want to show y'all something.
Donald Trump, you are known for your terrible haircut, and now I can see why. Your hair sucks. You look like Justin Bieber caught on fire.
What's the difference between a wet raccoon and Donald J. Trump's hair? A wet raccoon doesn't have $7 billion fucking dollars in the bank.
I love that. A wet raccoon ain't got $7 billion fucking dollars in the bank.
Why don't you just marry Trump?
Oh, I would. Then me and you both could be rich, baby. I love me some Trump, though. He done good shit for our country, and it showed. In the short period he had our country, you could see a difference. That's what I love. Somebody that makes America great again. Let's listen to this pedo motherfucker.
Did you overreact? Mr. President, there has been criticism that this was an overreaction that was done because of political pressure.
You come my office and ask the question. We have more polite people.
Mr. President, why have you chosen Poland for your trip to?
Did he really say have more polite people here? What the fuck is this shit? Hold on. Hold up.
Most capable in the world. And I want to thank you all. Now, look, the other thing I want to point out is that we are going to keep our allies and the Congress contemporaneously informed of all we know and all we learn.
Sir, the question was if you want to stand. Sir, there's been criticism that this was. There's been criticism that this. Sir, Mr. President, there has been criticism.
Did you overreact?
Mr. President, there has been criticism that this was an overreaction that was done because of political pressure.
You come to my office and ask the question. We have more polite people.
Mr. President, why have you chosen Poland for your trip to mark anniversary of the war? And what's your message? What?
When are you speaking to President Xi, Mr. President?
An aggressive effort to put questions to the President of the United States. He thought about it, came back to the mics, then left. Let's bring in Face the Nation moderator and Chief Foreign Affairs Correspondent Margaret Brennan. Margaret, you listen to
The motherfucker couldn't handle the heat. That's all that was. He is rude as fuck. Oh, hey, sis. The child sniffer. He is a fucking child sniffer. That's why I said just put a little fucking kid in front of him. He'll wake the fuck up. What kind of shit was that? Couldn't you? That really pisses me off. Trump could stand there and take the hard questions. That was fucking bullshit. That made us look fucking like shit. Worse than we already do.
To the president, you've said before, and I think it's indicative of what the president said, the administration is trying to walk a very fine line here, saying that this was a violation of U.S. sovereignty, but not to amplify or antagonize China in an atmosphere where there is competition, but not, as the president said, a new Cold War.
That's right, Major. And the president very explicitly signaling there and saying we are not looking for a new Cold War, just competition, not conflict. He's trying to reopen lines of communication that have largely been cut off. As you know, the defense minister in China wouldn't accept a call from the Secretary of Defense after that surveillance balloon was shot down. But as he's signaling there is the expectation that diplomats may soon begin talking, perhaps after the two leaders speak. As the president said, he expects to have a conversation with Xi Jinping. He gave no date for that, but we do know that the Secretary of State will have a chance to see his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi in the coming days at a security forum they both will be at in Europe. So perhaps that's an opportunity to try to de-escalate. I thought, Major, the other thing that was notable here at a time when the administration is clearly trying to show some muscle flexing, that they are clear-eyed, that China is increasingly aggressive in the technological space. You had announcements from...
I absolutely fucking agree, Jaden. It's kind of scary because, like, Canada is like our main supporter right now, you know, and we both got fucking dumbass people leading our country. Oh, I seen that, sis. Where's that at? I seen that. And they kept trying to tell him to turn. He kept going straight because he smelled. Where's that at? I seen that somewhere. Did you share that, sis? I will show that if I can find it. I seen it.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Dear, oh dear.
Dear, oh dear.
All right, calm down.
Calm down. Oh, there's a different one about that, about Biden being blind. Oh, here's the one I was talking about. Hold on. Let's go over here.
Hold on, guys.
Okay. Frank. Oh, shit, I didn't want to do that.
Oh shit, guys. Hold on.
No, that wasn't it. Somebody was making fun of him. Something about little kids. Fuck that sound. That's funny. Before he got lost in the school. Fucking TikTok is where it's at.
Right here. This boss was I want you to turn around to your right. Hey, there you go. Where am I? Right here. This boss.
Fucking idiot. David Dotson, no way.
You will be.
Oh no, Sarah cracks me the fuck up. I love her so much. Not David Dodson.
Might
Oh,
just
thank you,
block all them.
sis. Oh, Tammy Ayo, are you in here lurking? You got gifted a membership, boo. Where you at, Tammy Ayo? I ain't seen you in a long time.
She was a member, weren't she?
I think she got a gifted one, I think.
Oh, okay.
That time I gifted all them. Quit,
Yeah.
sis. Save your money. Thank you, though. Oh, congratulations, Stonefly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, calm down.
Sure, did you see my Trump thing I put on here? I fucking love it. At the wet raccoon. I think it's just fucking hilarious.
Ho, ho, ho.
It is.
Ho, ho,
I'll probably
ho.
get fucking struck for it. I'll edit it out. One more time.
Ho, ho,
Frank
ho.
loves it. Frank loves Trump, y'all. He is obsessed.
Yes, obsessed with Trump. Oh, the joys.
But look at this.
Donald Trump, you are known for your terrible haircut, and now I can see why. Your hair sucks. You look like Justin Bieber caught on fire.
What's the difference between a wet raccoon and Donald J. Trump's hair? A wet raccoon doesn't have $7 billion fucking dollars in the bank.
Donald Trump, you are known for your terrible haircut, and now I can see why. Your hair sucks.
That's fucking great. Oh, thank you, sis. I know you do that. I appreciate it. I do. I love you.
Trudy Beach wants to smash you, apparently.
Truly Beach can smash me. She's a hot mama.
Oh,
And she
make
lives
sure
just
you-
not far from me.
Make sure you record it.
Hey, sis, when Frank finally gets to America, I'm going to take him to Truly and let her straighten him out. No response?
Huh?
You always got something to say.
Well, maybe some sort of special.
Is Ayo here yet? Where's she at?
She must be lurking, I'm telling you. She still sore about that Kansas stuff, I guess. Unless your little friend said something.
You're my little friend. Oh, thank you, Jaded.
What,
Oh, I
what,
love
what I
y'all.
said?
Buttercup, congratulations. Jaded gifted a membership. I love y'all.
Oh,
Aw.
it don't come up on.
Sarah gifted some too.
Yeah, I saw that when I went in the chat to have a look.
I haven't seen Buttercup in a long time. I wonder if she's okay. Buttercup lives over in your country somewhere. I love her accent too.
Buttercup.
Yeah. She's from
Don't
my
see
old community.
Don't see Psychoville anymore, do we? Psychoville. We don't see Psychoville no more. Jesus, wet.
See, I went late or live late a few times too recently, and you get a different crowd. And it's later.
Yeah. Yeah, but Tammy Ayo used to be in them regardless of the time.
She's mad at you.
Yeah, I get that a lot. I get it a lot.
Yeah, I wish they would let people give super chats too.
Why would you want to gift a super chat though?
I don't know.
I don't get why would you What would you give to super chat?
Because we want to, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Hush.
Carry on, I'll block all your chat.
You can't block all my chat.
Okay, let's see.
Tammy Yayo! There she is.
Well,
She's gonna
just to
get
let
you,
you know.
Frank. Yes.
Look, just to let you know. Yeah? You said I can't block your
Get him,
chat.
Tammy. Get him, Tammy.
I'm talking. The one person you said I can't, I think you're on about that, says I can't block, says right here, block user. So, mind your mouth.
Who, my sis? Can you block
Yeah.
her? No, don't do that,
Yeah,
because
I
she
need
can block you back. She can block you too. You know that, right?
Yeah, but I couldn't block her on here.
Hey, sis, did it come up for you to have mod powers or manager powers or whatever it was? Because I finally got that. I think I gave it to you.
I'll be head to torture you, Frank. I don't know what that means.
She'll be here to
Remember head.
torture you.
No, it says head. Oh, maybe I'm getting head.
She's driving, so she's doing pretty good. I've been waiting for this. I knew she was going to get you.
Kansas City.
Get him, Tammy. Hey, yo.
My Eagles. Mighty Ducks, more like.
You been busy, Tammy? Hey, yo. Probably has been busy in the airports lately. Super Bowl, New Year's, Christmas, holidays, all that going on.
Drug smuggling.
Guess we can finish watching a little bit of this, whatever they're going to talk about the code.
You just wouldn't be prepared for nothing, would you? You gotta
No,
put your
I'm
banner
not.
on everything. Yeah, put your banner up.
That's why I got you. I'm gonna
I hung out with Rick Allen. No one cares. My Eagles.
Frank. Oh my God.
I'm joking. She knows I'm joking. I don't care who wins that fucking.
Rick Allen from
World
Home
Series.
Improvement? From Home Improvement? Is that no? That's Tim Allen, ain't it? Who the fuck's Rick Allen?
Dead? The dad out of Home Improvement. He's dead.
I'm trying.
He was doing another TV series and he died partway through it, and they killed him off in the show.
I don't know who that is, Timmy Ayo.
He's a singer, I think. I'm sure Tammy Ayo's always been green on this end. You could be right. She could have been a gifted membership before.
Well, here, there she is. Ask her.
Me.
Yeah.
Def Leppard drummer.
Oh, okay.
5 more minutes. Sounds like she's napping. I got this meme and it says, when your alarm goes off, and then underneath it says, you must rest the potato for 5 minutes. Stop typing.
I'm not. Hold on.
I can hear you. Oh dear. How about those Kansas Eagles, or whatever they are? The Chiefs? They're the Chiefs? Well, now the Super Bowl Chiefs. Oh, world champions in a sport that's only played in America by Americans. You couldn't get your hat on? Oh no, she's muted again. That means the chat's going to go silent. So, what does everybody think of?
All right, I'm here. Sorry,
Yeah.
my washer was in the spin cycle, and I think I got a little too many clothes in it, and it's loud.
You told me you
What's
wash
up,
your clothes in a
folks?
bucket.
I'm not that fucking hillbilly. I can, though, if I have to. I sure as the fuck can and will.
You showed this was a while back. I know because I was watching the live the other week. You put this thing in water and it spins your clothes. It's called a camping washer. And you were
Yeah, that
so
was a long
fascinated.
time ago.
Yeah, you were so fascinated by it. Look, I think I've got about 3 of them in a drawer somewhere.
Yeah, because you're not, you fucking have your washers in the fucking kitchen. Like a dishwasher would be in America.
A
So
dishwasher.
don't even start with me.
Oh my God.
I'm surprised you even got flushing toilets over there. Does your plumbing go up or down?
Down? Why would it go up?
When I walk in the room?
My toilet goes up when you walk in it.
Nothing.
No, go on, explain yourself. How does my toilet go up when? Makes no sense.
It totally went over your friggin' head.
No, it didn't go over my head. What you said made no sense.
I didn't know who Rick Allen was, Tammy.
Excuse me, I knew who Rick Allen was. She was the one saying it was the guy out of Home Improvement.
No, I didn't. I changed it. I said that was Tim Allen.
Lord. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they have done. We're all nice Brits, Tammy.
Tammy,
We're
yo,
all
I
nice
missed
Brits.
you. We thought you
We're
hated us because of
gentlemen.
the...
We're gentlemans. Because we're the man them.
Oh my God, Nikki Two Paws, I know sometimes whenever it don't spin out. You're proud to know him? I'm proud of my Brit.
What's your beef, Tammy, huh? What's your beef? Is it because the Mighty Eagles didn't win? And they become the Mighty Ducks?
I thought Tammy was listening with summoning her. Get your ass in here, Tammy. We were summoning her.
She was
We
hoping
talked
for the
her right
Super Bowl.
up. I love it.
She's just waiting for
I
the Hulk
missed
to go
you.
there.
I was waiting for a response on y'all's little football rant y'all had going on. So I've been waiting for this. It's like, right, bad. She ain't even gonna come back. See, I don't know nothing about Def Leppard. Maybe I should. I'm surprised. I don't know who they are, but I don't know nothing about them. Because I like Alice in Chains. I love me some Alice in Chains.
There was something about Rick Allen actually the other day. Seen it on YouTube. Oh, that was it. He was stuck around an idiot all day over the Super Bowl. This was this annoying American bird. Kept saying, "My Eagles." So, how about that? Yeah. How about that? Well, I think I'm going to end this. Thank you for coming.
Why are you ending it?
What?
Hey, Lil Wayne. Why are you ending it? We still got some Biden shit to talk about. We just getting started. I don't really want to listen to no more of this press conference because it's going to be the same old shit.
Yeah, it's going to keep booting me if you do that anyway.
What?
When you're playing the videos, it keeps booting me.
Well, I got more videos to play. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll jump down then.
Why?
Because he keeps booting me, that's why. Didn't you see me leave like 3 times while you was playing the press conference?
Yeah. There is more of Biden. I don't know. I don't know if that's him. I can't fucking remember. Did he have a big ass American flag behind him in the last one?
Yes. What's this Frank UBK?
Be quiet.
Okay.
I don't know.
I know what it means.
Yes, Lane. Yes. Alice in Chains. I love them. I ain't gonna play it, but Upchurch redone some of Alice in Chains music, and you should go listen to it if you like Alice in Chains. He's badass, for real.
Sounds like Tammy slept with him.
Sounds like it. Did you take him to the bathroom, Tammy? Yo, bend him over.
What? Bend him over? I don't know how you Americans do it, but that ain't right.
I know. You're always talking about bending over.
Who's booting you, Frank? No, when she plays the videos, it boots me for some reason. I don't know why.
I do have more videos, but I don't want you to boot.
I'll just go down for a bit and play your videos and whatever. I don't care. And I'll go down into the
sure?
chat.
Yeah, I think Cher left, Tammy. Yeah, Boo Boo Kitty. He sounds a lot like Lane. Yes, he does. I don't think this is the same thing that we just watched on Biden. No, but I don't think so. See if it boots you.
Things that we can accomplish every day as I drive by federal buildings and data centers that we built. It's also about the teamwork of the local. That's what I love about being a member of the Brotherhood. I have a community. Individually, I may not have much power, but as a member of a union, I can accomplish so much more. That's not news to our next speaker. Every day, President Biden talks about rebuilding the middle class and respecting the dignity of all workers. He knows that infrastructure investment means opportunities for workers like me and my brothers and sisters in this room. Thanks to him, America is investing.
No offense to the middle class, or whatever he wants to go on about, but Biden ain't done shit. He's trying to insult Trump with this because Trump is for the working people, for the upper class. But in order to get upper class, you got to start at the damn bottom every time. You got to work your way up there. And that's what Trump was trying to do for our country. Get these lazy motherfuckers off their ass, off of fucking welfare, off of whatever, and get you a fucking job, besides the government being your baby daddy. But no, Biden wants to fucking ruin everything Trump's done for us.
in a resilient, reliable power grid that can transport high voltage, renewable electricity to massive data centers, just like the project in Prince William County, which will put my brothers and sisters in Local 26 to work for the next 10 years. You've got to believe I know exactly who to thank for this once-in-a-generation investment. My president, our president, brothers and sisters, here at my home local, it is a privilege to introduce the President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Hello, IBW. Please sit down if you have a seat. Well, thank you, B. Travis, for that introduction. You know, I want to thank Kenny Cooper, President of IBW, who is doing a great job with this union and for all American workers. Not a joke. And you got a hell of a new governor in Westmore, I tell you. He's the real deal, and the boy looked like he can still play. He got some guns on him. And one of my great friends and one of the best senators I ever served with, Ben Cardin, is here. Ben was first elected to the Maryland State House a couple years ago. I don't give the dates anymore, Ben. But an incredible U.S. Senator and advocate for Maryland. And Congressman Glenn Ivey is here. The thing is, Glenn's married to a woman who has a tougher job than he does. She's a councilwoman. I used to be on the county council. You know what? Nobody knows the difference between whether there's a pothole in front of your house. It's the county's problem. It's the state problem. It's the city's problem. And guess who they go to? They go to the county. And that's why I ran for the Senate. It's too hard. Look, just elected in November, already hard at work delivering for working families in his district. And look, last week I reported on the State of the Union. It is. It's strong, and that's as they say up in Scranton. That's no malarkey. It's the soul of, because the soul of this nation is strong. The backbone of this nation is strong, and the people of this nation are strong, like all of you here today. They never give up.
Do what? That's old.
You know, yeah. Have you noticed with Biden, they're trying to tell you that he outvoted Trump and got the most votes by any other fucking president in history. Yeah, he can only fucking fill you know what I mean, a room. He doesn't, you know, when Trump goes on rallies, he's for miles, you know what I mean? When he goes on rallies, it's like a small room.
Yeah.
Who are they fucking?
Yeah, because he's a piece of shit president.
I don't understand how people can say we're in a rigged election. It's right there in fucking front of your eyes, guys. People were voting for it.
Hey, Marie.
People were voting months in advance. Not months in advance. Look, years in advance. People died before, like a year before the election, and casted a vote. Come on.
Okay, I got one more little clip here. It's about the Chinese balloon and the economy. I got another one too, though, about the train derailment that I want to listen to. But I don't want you kicked off. No, he paid that election off, Marcy.
Wedge between Washington and Beijing. That Chinese spy balloon that was shot down this month off the coast of South Carolina. There it is right there. Major trade organizations are now encouraging members to not rely so heavily on China in case rising tensions sever supply chains. Is that even possible, though? Well, joining us now, I'm going to ask that question to him. It's a former deputy assistant to the president for international economics, Clete Williams. Mr. Williams, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So today's sanctions, they're another sign of this erratic trade relationship between the U.S. and China. We know that our economies are so intertwined, it's almost like they cannot be extricated from each other. But this balloon incident, it's certainly not helping. How has this impacted trade between the two countries?
Well, so far, it's a little too early to tell how this incident in and of itself will impact the relationship. You mentioned this morning some of what China's doing, some of the sanctions it's put on U.S. companies. The U.S. has done something similar. But let's keep in mind the companies that they are sanctioning are companies that aren't doing a lot of business in each other's countries in the first place. These are pretty targeted actions, and I think that they're targeted by design because the United States in particular is trying to prevent this from spiraling out of control. But I think that if you look over the longer term here, there are going to be more and more calls. This is going to add more fuel to the fire to try to delink supply chains from China. And I think that you are going to see some actions in that regard.
Well, I kind of wonder if that's possible because especially with North Korea, with Iran, with Russia, and Venezuela too, we have taken that targeted sanctions idea, and that's kind of what China is doing here with sanctioning 2 American companies. But there are so many different supply chains that run through China, and China is really dependent on us to keep needing stuff so that they can keep making it to help support their economy. So is there any way to separate the United States and China? And if not, if so, how long would it take? Because it just seems like this took decades to put together, and it would take decades to break apart.
I think what people should expect is what I'm calling a bifurcated approach. You're going to have national security sensitive technologies. And in that respect, I think you're going to see a whole host of measures from the United States trying to delink those supply chains. So you're going to see further restrictions on export of technology. You're going to see further restrictions on the ability of U.S. investors to invest in the indigenous development of the technology in China. And I do think you're going to see some decoupling when it comes to advanced technology. But on the other hand, let's look at things like soybeans or beef or other kind of consumer products. I don't expect it to happen there. I think at this point in time, it's going to be targeted, but I think it's going to happen when it comes to things that are considered to be sensitive by one or both of our governments.
That is Clete Williams. He's an economic advisor. And Mr. Williams, we thank you for joining the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to
Me too, Marie. It does. There's just so much. There's shit they're not even talking about. It's a scary feeling, because you feel like you're losing your country. So I want to go somewhere where I ain't a lot of people and just fucking have me some chickens. Gotta have chickens. You there, Frank?
Yeah, I was trying to change my avatar, but it wouldn't let me.
Shit.
Tommy Ayo ran off again.
All right, and one more thing I want to, on the train derailment. Let's see.
I want to welcome in now, Ben.
And then we'll be done with videos, I promise. Yes, Marie, we talked about that yesterday, actually, in this train derailment. It's the same city where the movie was made.
I saw the person that was in the chat yesterday saying that she was going to do the testing. I seen her in, Jenny from Lycans.
Yeah.
Just before you went live, I popped into her live because she's interviewing an author today. So I popped in. And she was in there. She's a mod over there, so.
Yeah, I went and she was live this morning. I went into her live. Tammy Ayo, yes, it's already a movie. And actually a couple moved there to be extras on the movie. And they ended up staying there living. And they said that it's like they are living the scenes from the movie, literally.
Look how truly a beach. Dog eats better than me.
Americans love their dogs.
You know. This is why I couldn't have a dog. I'd out eat it.
No, you'd be busy eating something else.
I'm a vegan.
Yeah. Let's watch this.
Brits are cold-hearted. Get to know
Allison.
Tammy. Yeah.
Home. It is where he and his family live, where they're raising their kids. Ben has.
They're not all cold-hearted. They might seem cold-hearted, but you just gotta get in there. You gonna respond to your friend, Frank? I'm waiting.
What am I supposed to? What am I supposed to respond to?
I don't know. She said you're crying. He is crying,
Oh.
Tammy. That's why he can't respond.
I haven't got time for my fans like that. Look, Tammy, I've got other fans that need to talk to me, not just you.
Tammy Ayo, he has missed you. Don't let him lie to you.
Well, why would you say that? Why would you tell her something like that? She's going to write now in a diary, Frank misses me. And then in 100 years, when they break a little box thing and go, right, let's read Tammy Ayo's diary. They're going to say, the legendary Frank missed her. And then she's going to go up in the rankings. What are you doing? You're messing with history.
History. Hey, Frank, say tooth.
So what? Tough. Say tough.
Tooth. I love it. Oh,
Tough, eh?
Oh, it's a tooth. Tooth, not tooth.
Tough. Listen, if I knock one out here, what is it? It's a tough.
Have you ever heard of such, Tammy, a tooth?
It's a tough. You know, do you say toothache or do you say toothache?
Toothache.
You fucking liar. What a liar.
We say our words.
Made up words, yes.
Say vitamin, Frank.
There's no E in it, so it's vitamin. Otherwise, it'd be vitamin, wouldn't it?
What is it?
I says it's vitamin. If it was vitamin, wouldn't it be vitamin? Huh? It's vitamin.
I'm gonna give you a bite of mine. Hush.
What toothache?
Oh. He cracks me up, Tammy.
I found a grey hair in my beard earlier. I'm not happy. Me and God are going to have words later.
God ain't real.
You say that, but going on my life, he must fucking be. He must be up there, him and Jesus sitting there going, let's see what we can do to him today.
Say elevator.
Elevator. What's wrong with how I say elevator?
Oh no, Tammy Ayo said to say it.
Well, she ain't
He
my
says
boss.
it like you say it like us.
When I say it like you, you copied our language. You butchered it a bit, but you copied our language. Remember that?
No, we speak proper English. You speak butchered English to us.
No, you speak Americanish. Americanish. I speak proper English. Where I'm from is where English originated. I'm not talking about
I don't
England
give a
itself.
fuck. We're not talking about our ancestors' days. We're talking about now.
I showed you that thing. Remember when I showed you that thing? That's old English. That's how I speak. Where I'm from, that's how we speak. You wouldn't understand the word I was saying if I spoke
I can
it with
understand
my
you.
accent. No, you can't. Listen to me. I'm telling you. If I was to speak Black Country, you would not understand the word I'm saying.
Listen to me.
1 second. Let me just time me out. Bring my head in. There we are. That'll sort her out.
What are you doing to Tammy? Oh my God.
Oh.
Oh.
She won't come in all energetic next time, will she? There you are, Tammy. You got a free membership and a free time out. Where you gone? Why you gone quiet? Hey, woo, woo.
I think it's weird seeing somebody with a Southern accent not believe in God. Yeah, shit happens.
Who said that? Wait. What?
I might not believe in God, but I don't know. There's a higher power out there, but not the Bible. The Bible's not it, in my opinion. I'm not going to get into religion on here, but I grew up Southern Baptist and I grew up Pentecostal, but I do like the Pentecostal religion, though. If I had to pick a religion, it'd be Pentecostal.
I was looking up who won the original X Factor. Well, I knew it was, but I was looking up on him because I thought he'd dead. I'm sure I've seen something where he died, but I was wrong. He's been banned from Twitter for anti-Semitic tweets, and I read his tweet, and it shows you his tweet, and there's nothing anti-Semitic about it. But then when you read the article, it says he said a lot more than he did, but it's like you've literally got a picture of the tweet right there. Do you think we're fucking stupid?
Stupid. Can I play this video so we can get over with?
Yeah, go on.
All right.
A business in nearby Salem, Ohio as well. This is where you have built your life. Ben, thank you for being with us this morning. I know you were at that meeting last night. What did you share and what information did you receive?
Yeah, thank you for having me. And actually seeing everything now after the town hall, it really makes you emotional. Sorry, I expected to be able to handle this, but it's tough. I feel like early on, there's just so much confusion because information wasn't coming from one source.
I think this is the guy that played in the movie, isn't it?
I don't know. Why don't you ask him?
I can barely hear you.
I said, I don't know. Why don't you ask him?
Well, I recognized his name.
We're 12, 13 days into this and just now getting national exposure with the EPA coming out. It's all been state and local people, and they're not, like the mayor said, this is never something that's in somebody's purview. This is the chemical disaster that people aren't necessarily grasping at this point. There were several tankers of petroleum lube oil that carry about 33,000 gallons of fluid, and straight from the EPA and Norfolk Southern's documents and paperwork, those two containers are completely unaccounted for with oil. So that is also in our soils. The EPA kind of danced around it last night. The state, as far as why the trains are already going back through, they said that they did not authorize that to be happening by now. The cleanup plan didn't come out until the 10th of February, and the accident happened on the 3rd. We haven't had any soil testing. They said that they pulled soil samples the day before yesterday. And I don't understand how it takes that long to pull soil. It just seems like you would want to pull it as early as possible and then continue to monitor it as you go on. There are several people that I know in the community that have these small waterways running through the backyard, and they don't feel comfortable letting their dogs out. Early on, my wife and I had throat irritation and lost our voices. That was, around the time of the initial accident, and then the controlled burn, which is you see now. And the fallout from this psychologically, eventually, there's mental health, not only physical health. Our kids who've lived through COVID and just now getting back into the routine of things, they now have to go through this situation, and it's jarring.
Ben, I mentioned a moment ago that you all evacuated. You're back in your home right now, and we have a picture of your kids. How old are they, and how did you make that difficult decision to go back home, given the fact that you clearly are still concerned about all of your safety?
Yeah, we have 15, 13, 6, and 2, and it's a full plate, and it's a lot of fun. They're involved in so many different aspects of the community. And that's something that's really, I know it has to be hard on that.
And my heart goes out to you as a parent. I know you feel as though your most important job is to protect your kids. So how are you doing that right now?
We did have our house tested for VOCs. We wiped everything down. But just like you said, with the family who's taking all their things and moving out, if they're that close to the incident, there could be all kinds of film and particulate and matter that rain down from the smoke and the explosion. And nobody's inside testing for these kinds of things right now. We're a little bit further away. We're almost we're about 7/10 of a mile, and I'm sure there's still going to be fallout. I'm sure there's still going to be gases in the environment that were blown off into the air. And now we have towns south of here in Toronto, Ohio, that have detected the butyl acrylate in their water, and it's just a scary situation. And we weren't getting the right information from the beginning, and the focus hasn't been on the right things. A half hour after the order was lifted for the evacuation, there were trains going through the town, and that just shows that they were already on their way before the evacuation order was lifted. They were coming through by hook or crook, and they already had all the oil covered and all the gravel down, and the tracks are down, and they're just going to pay the fines rather than fix this the right way. And it's all about profit for them. This precision rail management that they started in 2019, they've cut 5,000 jobs since then. They've changed their safety protocols per train from a 3-minute safety check to a 90-second safety check. It's just cutting corners just for efficiency, so their percentage can go up from. I read this in a Newsweek or a business article. They wanted to go from 60% efficiency to 65.4% efficiency. Meanwhile, they're taking subsidies and also at the same time doing $8 million a year in corporate buybacks, or $8 billion, I'm sorry. It's a sad situation in a community that's not ready for it. And besides that, we bought this house in 2007. My wife and I were 20 and 21. It was a foreclosed home. We put a lot of work into it, and our kids walk to school. There's families in the area that live in their grandparents' childhood homes. Like, this is a deep rooted multi-generational community, and people, it's tough for them to want to leave and leave their history behind.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider, and don't.
Hey, wacky tacky. Tammy. Oh, Lord.
No idea what I can do now. Flick of a button, I could turn this members only.
But yes, that was a guy that was in the movie White Noise. I looked it up. That's him. That guy was just speaking. So what's up, y'all? What now?
What now?
Mm-hmm. I can't play nothing. It fucks you up.
I didn't hear a word he said. It's all robotic.
I said I can't play nothing because it messes you up.
And I said, what's he called? I didn't hear a word he said. It was all robotic.
That sucks.
Little man, little power. You have no idea, Tammy Ayo. No idea. I can block you from the stream and everything.
There's another one.
So I could share.
All right, never mind. I'm going to play one video. It just came out. I want to know the up-to-date shit on this damn train derailment. I hope Alicia goes there. Little man, little power. I don't know. He's got some power.
I once peeled an orange all by myself.
He says that he is the hype, Tammy, so we'll see. Are you the hype?
With the community left in the dark, people living near the site of a train derailment in eastern Ohio still questioning their safety as the work is being done to remove those dangerous chemicals left behind. Today, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency administrator on scene talking to people in East Palestine to try and quash fears, but the lack of concrete answers about how dangerous those chemicals could be and how thoroughly they've been cleaned up has a lot of people understandably on edge. It's also putting a spotlight on the train company at the center of all of it. News Nation's Stephanie Haynes is live on the ground for us in East Palestine. Stephanie, what are people there telling you?
Hey, Nicole, well, this is one of the major concerns. It's the water. And this is what cleanup looks like of a creek. Crews on scene here are doing some really critical work. They are damming the creek and literally pumping clean water from around the crash site so more contaminants don't end up downstream, especially as rain moves into the forecast. New video shows the moments after the fiery crash in East Palestine. Scott McClear lives a block and a half from the tracks and captured it on his phone.
Intense. You could feel the heat when I was sitting in my truck.
Scott evacuated with his family and has been home for a week now, watching as crews clean up the massive crash site. Officials say they have removed close to 1 million gallons of contaminants. Train cars and tankers are in people's backyards. Crews are aerating nearby streams and trying to pump out some of the toxins and setting up dams ahead of forecasted rainfall to try to prevent any more chemicals from flowing in. Norfolk Southern CEO issued a statement promising to make things right. We read that statement to Scott on his porch.
I know you're tired. I know you're worried. We will not let you down.
You hear that many times by big corporations that make billions of dollars. I strongly don't agree.
The EPA has tested close to 500 homes, but many people still don't feel safe. One man near the train tracks is moving. The railroad told News Nation it is not offering buyouts or urging anyone's relocation. News Nation spoke to one person who says the railroad may help him pay for first and last month's rent if he moves.
I'm not going back into the house ever. You know what I mean? We're not going to live there. Our baby's not going to live there. It's unsafe.
Ohio Governor Mike DeWine is asking the CDC to send doctors to the area for people experiencing symptoms. Norfolk Southern says it has given out more than $1.7 million to more than 1,300 families. But frustration and confusion remains.
What are your plans of helping the citizens of East Palestine? I mean, what is your goal to provide for the residents of the East Palestine? We're not going anywhere. We're going to stand strong.
Again, the EPA has been out here testing. They say that the air and the municipal water is safe, but people who are on private wells will still need to use bottled water until their well is tested, which could take some time, Nicole.
Yeah, still a lot of questions here, Stephanie. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation.
All right, hold on one more second. Here's a News Nation reporter that got arrested.
Evan is back at the office in Washington, D.C. this morning and joining us live as well. Evan, it is good to see you. Thank you for being with us this morning. I was thinking about you last night and just sharing with you that we've been thinking about you through this entire situation. How did you hear about the charges being dropped last night? Where were you and what was your reaction?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Marnie, and good morning to you as well. So I actually saw it on Twitter. A journalist had been reporting, I guess, after the press release came out from the Ohio Attorney General, Dave Yost, and I had gotten a heads up that it might be happening from my defense attorney, but we didn't have anything official, and then the press release came out. And so I think, is step one in moving forward from this experience that I did not want to have, and that has been traumatic for me. And I think was the right thing to do, and I think that's what the Attorney General said, that from the beginning, that I shouldn't have been detained, I shouldn't have been arrested, and this shouldn't have moved forward. And we've now met that first step.
Are you surprised, Evan, it took this long to drop the charges, given the fact the next day even the Ohio governor said he didn't want to see you prosecuted?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I understand, this is a process, right? But I think, from the moment that I was put in handcuffs, somebody should have given an order for me to be released then and there. It was very clear from all the video, from everything that the governor had said, that I was there doing my job, defending my right to be there. And I think it's important that, when we're the only profession that is protected in the Constitution and the First Amendment, that we stand up for our rights. And I felt that in that moment, it was unjust what was happening. And I thought that it was worth it to try to explain that. I did not think that it was going to escalate into a violent physical altercation. And Marnie, it was honestly embarrassing and humiliating. At one point, I had ankle shackles put on me. It's something that I've never experienced and that I never expected to experience, never been arrested before. And so, that's something that's going to stick with me for a long time. And I'm just trying to process on a daily basis. But, I was there doing my job. I think the video speaks for itself. And that's why the charges, which I believe were bogus to begin with, are dismissed.
Why can't they do something like this with these fucking tragedy pimps that show up at places where they shouldn't be? This dude wouldn't even bother nobody. I don't want to listen to more of that because there's really not a lot. Hold on a second.
And we begin tonight with the
What was that I just seen?
company Norfolk Southern did not attend that meeting last night, citing safety concerns for its employees. And now some lawmakers are asking for change. I want to welcome in this morning Congressman Bill Johnson, whose district includes East Palestine. The congressman has been on the ground hearing from the neighbors who live there. Congressman, thank you for being with us this morning. Trust is a major issue at this point, safety and health. What is your message to members in this community of East Palestine who are scared?
They are scared. They're frightened. They're frustrated. They have questions about the quality of their water, about the air, about what they're smelling, about all kinds of things. And the EPA, hopefully the EPA administrator is going to bring some answers with him today. They also have some questions for Norfolk Southern. Unfortunately, Norfolk Southern was not there last night. They should have been. These folks have every right to expect that their questions get answered. Well, I'm going to tell them, and what I have been telling them, this will be my third trip up to East Palestine. I was there last night. I was there on Monday. I'm going back today. We're going to keep digging. We're going to keep asking until we get the questions answered that they have.
The air and the water is being tested. The EPA so far has said they believe it is safe for people. Did they return too soon? Was the evacuation order lifted too soon in your mind?
Well, I think many people in the community have that concern, and I think it's up to the EPA to convince them otherwise, because they still smell stuff. They still feel nauseated when they go to their homes. I can't answer for the EPA, but I'm going to ask the EPA administrator today to do exactly that.
Would you feel safe drinking the water there? Do you feel safe as you head there to breathe the air?
Well, when I've been there at the wreckage site where it actually occurred, I don't have any burning or itching eyes or anything like that. Look, I can only tell you that there's a high degree of skepticism. I didn't rescind the evacuation order, but I can understand why the citizens there are concerned that it was.
Congressman, you've asked the railroad to reevaluate the criteria for resident reimbursement. Has the railroad responded to your request?
You mean to reevaluate the zone that they're going to provide support for?
Right, and how much reimbursement people are receiving?
Yeah, I do have information that is going to broaden. That announcement, I'm hoping, will come out today by Norfolk Southern, but it looks like that's moving in a good direction. Because if you live 1.1 or 1.2 miles from the epicenter, technically under the original concept, then you are outside of the assistance zone. Look, people all over that community have concerns, questions, fearful for the health and welfare of their families. So I've asked them to include the entire zip code of East Palestine.
How do you feel about the federal response so far? What more would you like to see?
Well, I haven't heard a word from Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. We are going to be talking to the EPA administrator today. I think it's it's a little bit far down the line. I would have preferred that he was here last week when some of these questions were really percolating, were really mounting. But he's here today. The senators are here today. I'm anxious to see what they have to say. Let's hope we get a better place, come out today in a better place than we were last night.
The other thing that this has highlighted, a red flag, is these rail cars moving hazardous materials through that community and so many others across the country. You are now considering new legislation regarding the transport of hazardous materials. Tell us what you want to see changed.
Well, that's true. I mean, the federal government already has standards in place depending on what category of hazardous materials they are. Whether a train has to be designated a hazmat train. I want to take a close look at that and see if there are changes that are needed. We'll know more when the National Transportation Safety Board investigation comes out. Could more stringent rules about the transportation of hazardous material, could it have alleviated what has happened here? We need to look at, we don't need to leave any stone unturned in looking at solutions that would prevent this from ever happening again.
Well, I know those folks in East Palestine are asking tough questions today. Congressman Bill Johnson, you're asking those questions and demanding answers as well. We'll follow up with you. When is the next meeting for the community expected?
You know, that's up to the mayor. I'm not sure when the next meeting is going to be. I know there's going to be some roundtables. I know there's going to be some visits to homes and facilities. I haven't seen the total agenda today, but I'm certain there will be another community meeting here sometime soon.
All right. Well, we'll be there for that, Congressman.
That's crazy. But Marcy, people really don't know about it. YouTube people, yeah, a few people here and there, but it really ain't that many people that know about it. And I'm not going to get all worked up over this. It ain't, I don't know, but
I was in Little Wings live earlier, and most of them didn't know what was going on.
yeah, a lot of people don't even know it. Just us few people talking about it on YouTube, really. The public there, you know, the locals, but
I said if you live outside the mile zone, you're not entitled to public compensation. It's disgusting. You should go down to the last stage of contamination and then do a circle radius there. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's where it should. That's where the thingy should be. So it doesn't matter. Oh well, that's going to cost us blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't have made a mistake like this.
You tell
I just did.
them.
Where's everyone gone?
I don't know.
Things.
I don't know. What else is going on in the YouTube streets? I've kind of been out of it.
I don't know. I don't business with everyone no more. I go to Little Wings if I see Little Wing live. I go to Angel if I see Angel live. I come here, obviously. And shares. That's 4 channels, I see. Oh, and Jenny when she does her books.
I like Jenny. She's a sweetheart.
Jenny.
She is a sweetheart. Talking about liking Jenny?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a sweetie. I like her.
I wanted to cover Charles Dickens. Starlink. What's Starlink? What's Starlink, Bakitaki? Sounds like something that should be in space.
Starlink, ain't that what you put on your car to call for assistance?
Oh, yeah,
happens?
it is. Yeah, sorry.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, sorry, yeah. That's how I had the recording for
No, that's
Casey.
OnStar, I think.
Yeah, OnStar, yeah.
TikTok does bring out wackadoodles. I love TikTok though. I get stuck on TikTok forever. I squirrel off on there. Frank won't go on
Fair
there
enough.
with me.
Oh, well. I don't like TikTok. I'll stick to my Instagram and Facebook. When I'm allowed on Facebook, that is.
I'm banned on Facebook for a month.
You are?
Just a second, y'all.
I'm banned off Facebook as well, but I called someone a sausage the other day and I got banned. 30 days. Didn't even have a chance to do nothing. If I comment on Facebook, it comes up your comment's gone for review. She is here. Wacky, I've got no clue what you're on about. No idea whatsoever.
You hear me?
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Yeah, I don't know what Wacky Tacky's talking about.
I think she's listening to another live and talking in this chat.
I think I'm gonna get off here. Unless you want to stay on
Okay.
here.
It's up to you.
We've been on here almost an hour and a half.
It's your channel.
I want to see more about that train, but
We'll have a look more in the train then.
there really ain't much more about it.
Smell like a pub ashtray. Beer and smoke. Apparently we're talking something about Tammy.
She must be behind in chat.
What are you banned from Facebook for anyway?
Trolling. I am. For like 29 days.
Yeah, it's a new thing. They took it from 30 days to 29 days. But if you click, if you comment or like something, it'll pop up 30 days. I was stuck back on the wet raccoon. Oh, okay.
On the what? Wet record.
Raccoon.
Raccoon.
Active cotton. Oh, the trolling.
What'd I do, Jaded?
Sure about your trolling, I think.
Oh, yeah. I did. I got this morning. I woke up and it told me my account was restricted for 29 days. I was like, fuck. I just got off of a fucking week ban a week ago.
If I comment, it comes up straight away. Your comment's gone for review.
I'm not a very nice troll.
If I post, it takes 30 minutes for it to come up. So I don't even bother posting on Facebook anymore. I haven't posted on Facebook for. I
I
don't
don't
even think I posted on Facebook. Instagram's my new favourite app. I've never used Instagram, but I love it now.
Why do you love it?
I don't know. I just think it's got loads of Beetlejuice videos on there.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, do you know who Beetlejuice is?
Yes.
Who's Beetlejuice?
Say
Not the
Beetlejuice
film.
3 times and you can
No.
summon somebody.
Beetlejuice is basically he's got disabilities, like he's a midget or what dwarf, and he's got like learning difficulties and that. And Howard Stern used to have him on a lot, and it's just hilarious. Like they ask him to spell red, and he goes, "Oh well, that's an easy one," and then he's like, "B F," and like they ask him like random questions like, "If you had to dig a 2-foot hole, how big would you dig it?" He goes, "Oh yeah, well, a couple of times." He's done everything. He has. He was in the wrestling. They did I think barstool boxing, where he had to box another midget, and it's like he lives in a walk, like he lives in his own mind. He's what he imagines he sees as reality, and like they asked him who the greatest boxer was between Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, and Floyd Mayweather, and he's like, me, of course. He's, you know, Mike Tyson, me and him, we had a fight once. I beat him up.
Oh, Jaded, I don't use my real Facebook. I keep that shit deactivated most of the time. I got fucking banned on my troll or my sock account. Not my real one. I ain't putting my shit out there.
Trudeau's on trial. What's this about, Jaded? You're a Canadian, are you?
Does anybody know if they're silencing people if they talk about Epstein? Because I want to talk about that. Because they're about ready to release his fucking list of his associates and victims. But I don't want to fucking get my channel nuked. Who are you texting?
That fucking idiot keeps trying to troll me.
Who? Who's trolling you?
This fucking idiot American trying to tell me that fucking I don't know this and I don't know that, and he's sitting there telling me that snakes don't size up the food. Yes, they do.
You're still arguing with that snake girl.
It's a fucking bloke. The little girl is in the video.
You have been fighting with them all day.
Don't they need to shut up?
Hey, drop it.
Alright, I'll drop it. If they comment back, I want to comment back.
Don't let it upset you.
I'm not upset. I'm angry. There's a difference.
I don't want you to be angry.
Okay. I'll get on my balloon again and calm down.
You really can't hear the videos when I play them?
No, you can play them though. I don't mind. I'll watch them later.
No.
It's what I do when you do go live and you play the videos. If they don't play, I watch the stream later. I watch the stream later anyway to give you the view.
Oh. I want to go over some Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, that's not. That's a very dangerous subject. You lost family and friends over Facebook. It's the only way I talk to my family and friends. Can't be doing with them. My two nieces terror me on Facebook. They keep tagging me in things, saying, "Look at you." My one niece, she tagged me in this picture of a dog in like a sheep outfit. Did you see the picture of video of Biden that Marcy sent you? It's very funny.
No. I've not checked nothing yet. I've been on here. I can't scroll off like that too much.
Yeah, my niece tagged me in it and said, "That's you. You're this sheepdog." And I was like, "That's not a sheepdog." And she's, "You are a sheepdog." And I was like, "Okay." And then one put a status up about KFC gravy being vile. And then they both, I commented on it saying, "Yep," and I wouldn't leave this up. Your sister will attack you for it. Then they ended up both attacking me. Well, what the hell are you? Teenagers. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Why, what?
No, I'm looking at this Jeffrey Epstein stuff. People do use it as a weapon, Jada. Yeah, I shut my fucking my real Facebook down years ago. Well, I mean, I didn't delete it. I still got it, but I'd keep it deactivated because of fucking YouTube people. There's this one Brit that likes to creep my pictures.
That's going across the pond.
Yeah, that fucking stone.
Use it as a weapon.
Should I cover Jeffrey Epstein?
If you want to, yeah. It's your channel. You do
it's
what
interesting.
You want. This is your platform. On here, you do what you want to do. You want to talk about fucking dinosaurs that I walk past every day? Talk about them.
It does sound like dinosaurs.
It's fucking cars.
I wish you could see the videos though if I play them.
Just play them. Don't worry about it. I've told you I'll watch it again later.
I'm gonna play some old stuff.
What do you mean old stuff?
About Jeffrey. That's what I want to talk about, but I don't know. And I like to get into cults and all that shit. It's pretty
You said you were
interesting.
going to. Remember, you said you were going to cover him, and you didn't.
Jeffrey Epstein?
Manson.
Oh yeah, Manson. Yeah, I love Manson.
Very interesting, man.
Yeah, he is. He had a fucking beautiful mind. Oh, there's Jeffrey Epstein's deposition.
It was most definitely warped.
Mine is too.
Some people.
So.
Yeah, but what I mean is he was controlled by drugs, and then he broke control. I think, in my eyes, the way I look at it is he broke control, and that's why he was locked up forever because they couldn't no longer control him. He was now a danger.
Here's a video. That goes inside of his Florida mansion.
He had a mansion in Florida.
Jeffrey Epstein, yeah.
I know about his place in New York.
I know, I'm going to play it.
Go on then.
Who say Jeffrey Epstein abused them have told their stories to a judge, while newly revealed police video takes us inside Epstein's Florida mansion. The video comes from a 2005 investigation of Epstein's relationships with underage girls. Epstein was jailed in New York City on sex trafficking charges earlier this year. He took his own life more than 2 weeks ago. Mola Langi is covering the Epstein case. Mola, what does this video show?
Oh, good morning. The footage shows what appears to be the ground floor of Jeffrey Epstein's home, the upstairs as well as the pool area. Epstein's Palm Beach house is just one of the locations where many of his alleged victims say they were abused. The video also appears to show one of Epstein's most high-profile alleged accomplices. The 2005 video shows armed police enter Jeffrey Epstein's Palm Beach home. According to CBS West Palm Beach affiliate WPEC, police are seen reading a search warrant to Epstein's house manager. Upstairs, there's a photo of what appears to be Epstein's ex-girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell. She's been accused of recruiting underage girls for Epstein. Maxwell has not been charged and denies any wrongdoing. There's also a photo of what appears to be a gray-haired man and a brunette woman in the White House press briefing room. CBS News is unable to authenticate the photo. Our affiliate reports there are also nude photos of women throughout the house. 3 years after this video was taken, Epstein was convicted of child prostitution and served 13 months in jail. According to the New York City Medical Examiner's Office, Epstein hanged himself earlier this month while facing new criminal charges. A federal judge is now expected to dismiss the criminal case against the disgraced financier.
Pretty upsetting to see how many lives he's devastated.
Epstein accuser Shantae Davies is one of 23 alleged victims the court heard from during a hearing in New York Tuesday.
Makes me sick to my stomach that there's perpetrators out there that obviously helped him in many ways for a very long time, and they're still out there with no punishment.
In court, Davies and other accusers took aim at Epstein's alleged accomplices. Davies claims she was introduced to Epstein by Ghislaine Maxwell. Accuser Virginia Roberts-Giuffre also said she was recruited by Maxwell, and that the reckoning must not end. Attorney Gloria Allred represents multiple Epstein accusers.
Jeffrey Epstein's death, whether it was a suicide or murder, does not end the case. Does not end their fight for justice.
Epstein's attorneys say they also want answers after questioning the medical examiner's finding that Epstein died by hanging himself. The lawyers say the report is inadequate. They believe the broken bones in Epstein's neck are more consistent with assault and homicide. Adriana?
Mola, thank you. A dozen women who say
President Trump is speaking out about Jeffrey Epstein, the billionaire accused of sex trafficking.
He was a fixture in Palm Beach. I had a falling out with him a long time ago. I don't think I've spoken to him for 15 years.
Epstein was actually banned from Mar-a-Lago, according to court documents obtained by Inside Edition, after Epstein was accused of sexually assaulting an underage girl at the club.
I was not a fan of his. That I can tell you. I was not a fan of his.
And this is your first look inside Epstein's opulent $77 million mansion in Manhattan. It was featured on the cover of Architectural Digest in 1995. The mansion has a heated sidewalk, so snow and ice melts during the winter. Epstein's monogram, J.E., appears right here in brass on the doorway. And inside, beneath the stairs, there's a lead-lined panic room, like something out of a James Bond movie. The FBI raid on the mansion uncovered sex toys, a life-size female doll hanging from a chandelier, and hundreds of lewd photos. Bill Cosby, who is now serving 3 to 10 years in prison for sexual assault, used to live in a townhouse directly opposite the mansion. These are pages from Epstein's Little Black Book. They were first obtained by the website Gawker. They show numerous entries for the rich and famous: Donald Trump, actor Alec Baldwin, and singer Courtney Love. Page after page are headlined Massage Paris, Massage UK, Massage Florida. Below the cities, a list of first names with contact numbers. There are 21 email addresses and contact numbers in the book for former President Bill Clinton, and he's speaking out today. President Clinton knows nothing about the terrible crimes Jeffrey Epstein is charged with in New York, a statement says. In the statement, Clinton acknowledges he flew 4 times on Epstein's private jet in 2002 and 2003. Shantae Davis was a flight attendant on the jet known as the Lolita Express because it allegedly shuttled underage girls between Epstein's homes. She told Inside Edition Clinton did nothing improper on those trips. She says she made him peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and Clinton took her shopping in Africa.
They had shut down a jewelry store for us, and I helped him pick out a bracelet for Chelsea.
Epstein has pled not guilty. He's scheduled for a bail hearing next Monday. The prosecution is expected to argue that he's a flight risk given his wealth, access to private
Jada, I don't believe he did himself in either. I think he's still alive, in my opinion.
He's not still alive. He needed to die. He held all the keys. That would have been like taking down Jimmy Savile. The difference was Jimmy Savile had a worldwide reach of power. A very, very powerful man. He used to give, I think he gave a speech in Congress. I know they kicked off that he gave a speech in the House of Commons. He used to go around the world and give speeches, and he influenced a lot of royal families and politicians, and now we know why.
Yeah, he did have dirt on everybody. And they're getting ready to release his list. They're getting ready to unseal it.
Will they, though?
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
don't think it'll be the full.
the reason they're getting ready, the reason they're getting ready to release the list is what they're doing is they're negotiating with people on that list that they'll do this and they'll pay this and pay that to whoever's got the list, and then whoever doesn't agree to it gets released. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Savile's one of Jimmy Savile's things was released, and it had Cliff Richard, Cilla Black, all them in it, and not one thing happened. They just said, "Oh, maybe he just knew him." But funnily enough, there's a place in the UK called Elm House, and that was basically like Epstein's Island, and they released the logbooks, and they said the same thing. They did the same thing. Some people went to prison for it, and then all the ones that must have agreed to something, there was it must just be coincidence that they stopped at that place. But I know Cliff Richard. He used to apparently the kids that come forward talked about a man called Kitty that was the worst of the worst, and Cliff Richard used to sign the book saying Kitty.
Carry
That
on.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm rolling the fag one-handed.
Do what?
Rolling the fag one-handed.
All right, I'm going to play a video so you can roll you one. This is about they found his phone book in Vermont in a farm. See, I didn't really follow this. Like, I know what happened and stuff, but I don't know, like, the details. And now I'm interested. So, like, go figure. I'd be fucking interested in it all whenever he's undead. Allegedly.
We've obtained a new Jeffrey Epstein address book, one that no one has ever seen before.
Jeffrey Epstein got away with what he got away with because of who was in his address book.
What's interesting for us about this book is a new cast of characters who we didn't previously know had interactions with or did business with him.
Our first thought was to just do whatever we could to verify that it was real. We've obtained a copy of an address book that we believe belonged to Jeffrey Epstein, and your name and contact information are listed in the book.
I'm a reporter for Insider. I'm just calling everybody who's in this address book who has not previously been publicly associated with Jeffrey Epstein.
We need to make sure it was a real artifact that really represented something about Jeffrey Epstein and his connections to people.
The story is not one that sounds exactly believable. Someone dropped Jeffrey Epstein's address book in the 90s and now belongs to some guy who was on a farm in Vermont.
I'm very careful not to put my fingerprints on the book, not to put any sort of DNA or hair, anything like that. My name is Christopher Halali. Where should I look? I currently live on my wife's farm. As a student of national security issues, imperialism, I was fascinated by the Jeffrey Epstein case. There are names that are highlighted, and I think one of the most notable highlighted names is former President Donald Trump.
My name is Denise Ondeko, and I believe I found the book sometime in the 90s, walking along Fifth Avenue, and I just noticed a small black book on the sidewalk.
So you're pretty sure that it was somewhere between 54?
Yes, it could have been here or there.
We have spoken extensively with Denise, and we found her story to be credible.
I saw the book, picked it up, glanced through it. Yeah, it was filled with names like Kennedy, Rockefeller, Trump, etc. And it was like, whoa, this is bizarre. So I kept it for the New York City artifact that it was.
Did you know who Jeffrey Epstein was at the time?
No. When I rediscovered the book last year, it was like, holy, it's Jeffrey Epstein.
A Manhattan billionaire arrested yesterday on federal sex trafficking charges.
Accusations from indecent exposure to inappropriate touching to rape.
I went to tips at New York Times. I sent something to Rachel Maddow. I just figured nobody was interested. Come the end of November, I really needed brakes for my car and I didn't have enough money. But I thought, what the hell? You Jeffrey Epstein, you paid for my brakes. So I put it on eBay.
It was right there for everybody to see. Most people would think it's a fake or a forgery. I took the risk. When I received the book in the mail, my heart was nearly jumping out of my chest. I felt like Indiana Jones. It's a dark book. It's a book that I think has a lot of suffering behind it, a lot of pain, a lot of evil, some would say. I felt that it was important for people to see who Epstein knew and what sort of network of power was behind him. Right now, I'm packaging the book for forensic analysis and handing it off to a team of journalists. If it comes back and it's not authentic, it's a pretty awesome forgery, I have to say.
One of the moments in the public waking up to the magnitude of his crimes was the publication in 2015 of an address book belonging to Jeffrey Epstein. And what was stunning about it was it contained the names of Donald Trump and Mick Jagger, Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton. And it sort of woke people up to the fact that this was a guy who had access to the halls of power.
Our reporting also found about 220 new names that didn't appear in this other address book.
If someone were to concoct a fake book to trick journalists, they would start by taking those names from the other public little black book and putting them in this one. So we start by sort of correlating the names, and then we just started calling people in the book whose names have not been previously associated with Jeffrey Epstein. Hi, I'm trying to reach Elena Kayem.
Hi, I'm calling for Suzanne Urcha. Would you be able to connect me with her?
I'm trying to reach Joan Severance.
We don't currently represent Joan. The number you dialed is not inserted.
I'm trying to reach Michael Cutlip.
This is he.
Elena Barmakova.
Who's calling? I'm working on a story about an address book
that we believe belonged to Jeffrey Epstein.
Do you mind if I'm recording this call?
Yeah, do you mind?
Okay, give me 1 second.
I haven't seen his book of Jeffrey since the late 90s.
For them to say, yes, I knew him in the 90s, gives credence to the idea that the book is real.
It's not the case that everybody who was in his address book was an enabler of Jeffrey Epstein. It's more adding to the body of knowledge to keep chipping away at the mystery. She was not interested in speaking.
These are some of the prominent names we reached out to. None of them had ever been publicly associated with Epstein before.
Suzanne Urcha, Melania Trump's best friend. She later married Woody Johnson, who now owns the New York Jets.
Carl Icahn, special advisor to Donald Trump during his presidency.
Christina Grieven, the wife of Christopher Cuomo.
Jill Harth accused Donald Trump of sexual assault.
Stephen Ratner led Barack Obama's efforts to resuscitate Detroit.
Marty Peretz, longtime mentor to former Vice President Al Gore. Les Gelb was a legendary New York Times columnist. Sandy Warner was the chairman and CEO of JP Morgan until 2000. Billionaire John Katzimatidis, who told us that he offered Epstein a ride and Epstein sent him a 3-foot bottle of champagne and thanks. And this just goes to show that in the 1990s, he was sort of cultivating a much larger orbit that we can see evidence later on.
How are you doing? We also engaged the services of a forensic examiner who's familiar with authenticating documents.
I was cautious because I didn't want to cross over into an area that the FBI was investigating. My name is Dennis Ryan, and I'm a forensic document examiner. I'm confident that the book is probably circa 1995 to 2000. One of the factors was the Gestetner imprint that's on the Velo bind. Their organization was certainly out of production by 1998 to 2000. It would be very difficult to make up a book with that imprint. The most important thing is the change in the area code.
So here's Donald Trump's entry in the 1990s address book. You can see that his Palm Beach phone numbers feature a 407 area code. Now, if we look at Trump's entry in the address book from the early 2000s, you can see that he has the same phone numbers listed for Palm Beach, but with a different area code, 561, and that area code was introduced in 1996. Jeffrey Epstein is still such a mystery. Over a year after he's died,
Accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein is dead.
Jeffrey Epstein's attorneys questioning whether his death was a suicide.
I think my biggest takeaway is that Epstein had an extremely large sphere of influence, and we're not even sure about the true extent of it.
I think this book elaborates on that in a different era, a different time, and with some different people that we didn't know were part of that circle that eventually became a part of the reason that Jeffrey Epstein could get away with raping and abusing women and girls. And I think it's important to keep in mind how power is able to avoid accountability. And the more we can remember what Epstein's actions represent, the more we can prevent people from escaping accountability now and in the future.
What a weird turn of events, how serendipitous the whole thing is played out. Unbelievable. I just remember having that thought, should I keep this? If it was a heavy something or other, I probably would have tossed it.
I think it's an interesting story, you know. One book with the FBI, one book on the farm. It's fascinating.
That is interesting. Of all things to fucking find on the street, though. Like,
Can I
wow.
just on Jaded? Jaded says he handed out money to Control. He collected money to Control. He got paid very, 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 very well. He pretended to invest in things, but he had no money whatsoever. He got given a lump sum of money one day, and I know this because I went through his finances on a video, as in I watched a video on it, and one day it just turned up $50 million, and it just kept growing, and he was getting endorsements from businesses and things like that, and they could trace back to who actually made that payment and that. And all them people was linked with him. Some of them were later labelled paedophiles and went to prison. He threw parties, like he used his money to throw parties, if that's what you mean when you say throwing money about.
I don't know. I just don't see Trump being like that. I don't know.
Well, my argument with people that defend Trump on that is Trump likes young women. You can't argue that.
Yeah, but
and not
I don't
not
think
everyone
he.
was. Well, not everyone was necessarily underage. And you've seen the link. They just mentioned the link in the video. His
Yeah.
current wife was best friends with someone in the book,
Melania, yeah.
which says that she probably worked for Epstein at some point, and that's probably how Trump met her.
Well, I mean, I don't know. People really can't judge that. I don't know. You can, but I don't know. I don't know. That's why I want to watch all this stuff and listen. Hey,
Squid
Squid.
says
Hey,
hi.
bro. Hi. Oh, we're just going over some crazy shit. I don't even know.
Yeah, there's a lot to the Epstein story that's not told. The best way to investigate that is to look into the Savile story. The Savile
Tomorrow.
story. Go on.
No, I wouldn't go say nothing.
Oh, well, yeah. If you look into how the Savile story was exposed, and that, it's very similar to Epstein's. Savile had multiple properties all over the country, including one in Scotland that they raided, and that's where they found everything when he died. And his house was in the middle of nowhere. That house was in the middle of nowhere, and it's still there now, and it's abandoned. I think Epstein was not the new Savile. I don't think whoever the new Savile is being kept very, very tightly under wraps. They won't let that mistake happen again. I have a PDF on Epstein's Black Book. There's a lot of names in there. Ooh.
Oh, Squid, that don't surprise me. You got that. I need that.
The BBC used to. Do you know if anyone spoke badly about Jimmy Savile, they automatically banned him, banned him from the radios and everything. And someone come forward with a documentary they'd made just before Savile died, and he went to, I think it was ITV, and he gave them the documentary, and they said, yeah, we're going to play it in the next couple of days, and he was called in, and one of Jimmy Savile's lawyers come in, shook his hand, and said, Jimmy Savile says thank you for the evidence, and basically give him a load of money and left. Crazy.
You're crazy.
No, my mum had me tested.
Squid, we should still do our John Podesta live.
I
I'm
remember
scared to
ages
cover
ago,
him though.
me, you, and Squid talked about doing a live. We was in
Yeah,
the chat and talked about doing a live. I can't remember what it was about though.
John Podesta. I think it was
Is
the
that what
John
it was about?
Podesta and Chester Bennington.
Yeah, yeah, that's where that picture come from, Rory.
Yeah, because look at these do I still have those pictures on here? Yeah. Let's see. Fuck.
That was creepy rabbit hole.
Yeah,
That was.
look how fucking much they resemble. That's his child. You can't tell me no different. Allegedly. I'm scared to cover Podesta.
I'll put it up and you say, "Oh, don't do that to Chester."
I know it's. Yes, and isn't it his brother's art collection too, Squid, if I'm remembering correctly? His brother's a weirdo too. I think it was his brother. Tony Podesta, is that his name? Tony? I don't know. What's his name?
John Antonia. If you look at the Madeleine McCann case as well, the E-fits, they look a spit of the two brothers. And they was vacated in Portugal at the time. She went missing. Crazy, crazy, crazy. That's the comic ping pong and all that stuff, innit?
Yeah, see, I want to cover all these rabbit holes, but I don't know. I get nervous.
Do it on your backup channel then.
Because Squid and Truly, I don't know if, or Jaded too, I don't know if y'all remember when Cher lost her, Cher had a channel, it was called Totally Blunt with Cher, and it had like a pot leaf on it, I don't know, but it was her conspiracy channel. All she covered on it was conspiracies. And we started covering Isaac Cappy, and bam, they took her fucking channel. Tom Hanks did.
Yeah, I can't find nothing on that, you know. I used to watch her on that a lot. Because there was this weird video of these kids. And they was walking around with jugs and they was in like underwear or something. And
They
he
took
used to play.
they took her whole fucking channel over that. No warnings, no nothing. It gone. No warnings. It was crazy. It was the craziest thing I ever seen. And I'm like, fuck, that's what I'm into, these fucking conspiracies. Because there's usually a lot of truth in a conspiracy. Just saying.
Because he was meant to have committed suicide off a bridge, weren't he?
Oh no. Well, hey, Stonefly, you're welcome. I think Jaded and Cher gifted memberships earlier, and you got one of them.
Yeah, is that Cappy when he went to unalived himself off a bridge?
Somebody killed him. I don't believe he took his life.
I've seen the
I
video.
don't want to
You
talk
see
about
him.
him. You get in trouble with him. Quit talking about him.
Oh.
I don't want to talk about Isaac Cappy. Change that subject because I ain't doing it.
The word conspiracy comes from the truth. They only call it a conspiracy when they don't want you to talk about it. What?
Nothing. Nothing.
She's calling up on you, God, even though she doesn't believe on you. I know. I won't say what you said. No. Tomorrow, I'm having a word with the Lord. I won't tell her what you said,
need
don't worry.
to. I agree, Jade. I believe in conspiracies. People want to call them conspiracies, but there's a lot of fucking truth in a conspiracy. A lot.
What the hell was that?
It was me. Just a second. I'm going to mute for a second.
Okay. Yeah, we don't want to talk about it. Jaded. I should time you
No,
out
because
for that.
Ada remembers when Cher lost her channel over it. I'm not doing that.
Do it on your backup channel then.
Let's go over there and talk about Jeffrey.
What now?
Let's go over on my backup channel then and talk about Jeffrey, because I don't really want to get too deep in this. I'm kind of scared to cover this.
What now? Are you on about now or later or another day?
No, like right now, because I want to talk about this.
Has everyone got a link to your backup channel?
I don't know. Let me make the. I want to talk about some conspiracies, but I don't want to lose my fucking channel over it.
Okay.
See, let's chat Jeffrey Epstein. I'm going for the John Podesta. No, I'm not. I'm going to wait on that for Squid.
We'll drop him a link when you start the live and.
No, I want that to be a separate live.
Okay.
Me and Squid talked about this, and huh?
He can send you the PDF and come up with you.
Not today.
Oh, all right.
But you hush.
You
Sounds like you're down
when
in
you
a hole somewhere.
Oh, when you set the live, I'll. Yeah.
Just chill for a minute. I got this, baby.
I'm gonna drop it in the chat. Calm yourself.
I am calm. You ain't seen me fucking upset yet. Let's see. I'm not gonna dog my man Trump. Oh fuck. I'm horrible. How did R-E-Y? Yeah. You still there? Frank. Where the hell did he go? Hey. Are you gonna talk to me?
I was putting you thingy in the channel. Look.
Okay, sorry. Someone make it for 7:15. So we gotta get off here. And I promise I'll be there on time.
Yeah, that'll be the day.
I got the live.
You should put in the title Epstein hashtagged, Savile hashtagged, and we'll just go over them all. But only hashtag the ones that. Okay, I'll just say.
I hashtagged Jeffrey.
What, Jeffrey?
I'm gonna be like listener and change it every 5 seconds. 7 seconds, guys. Let me change the thumbnail. He starts burning that fucking keyboard up.
I'm gonna change this thumbnail. It's been old. It's been up for like 15 minutes.
7 seconds, guys. Just 7 seconds.
Breaking news.
Oh,
breaking news.
He cracks me up.
That would be a big red flag. What would be a big red flag, truly?
right, let's end this one and go over there real quick.
The link to the backup channel is over there in the comments, people.
We've been around a while. Okay, I'm going to end this. See y'all shortly. Yeah, I hashtagged it truly. Yikes. See y'all in a second.